friends, I welcome you all to GIPL Software Talk. I Poonam Gami, currently working with GIPL as a software engineer. Today we are going to learn null values in SQL Server. The topic which we are going to discuss in today's video are what is the null value, its syntax while creating table, null value in the comparison and expression, and different way to handle null values. We will also see live example of it. Before we start our topic, I would like to give some information about GIPL. GIPL is the government organization. GIPL provides IT and IT-enabled services to different government organizations. We provide informative video about government software and latest technology tutorials. To get latest video, please press on bell icon and subscribe to our channel. Now let's start today's topic. First of all, what is the null value? Null value is the special marker used in structured query language to indicate that data value does not exist in database. In the database, there is a common problem is how to represent that missing value. The null keyword is used to represent that missing or unknown value. Null value in a database is a value in a field that appears to be blank. A field with null value is a field with no value. It is very important to know that null value is different than the zero value or the field that contains spaces. Syntax for allowing null value while creating table. In SQL, we use not null and null keyword to define null and not null value in the table. Here, I want to create one employee table with some column that allow null value and some column with not null value. Now, let's see the example for it. Here, I want to create one employee table with the name column, which is allow not null value. Another column is the code, which is allow not null value. Third one is the address that allow null value in the column, and the fourth one is the city, for which I didn't specify anything. Here, for the column where I didn't specify anything, that is null or not null, which means that this column should be null. I am executing this query to create new table employee in the database. I want to add some data in the table, so I am executing insert query for filling data. Now let's see the data in the database. Here I have mentioned null value for the address column, so that allow null value in the column. Now let's discuss other things which I have mentioned earlier, which is null value in comparison. If we use null keyword as a comparison operator with where clause, that filters data and it seems to go well and no rows are returned, but actually it returns wrong result. Let's take an example and check. Here I have filtered data with address is equals to null. If I execute this query, this returns null value, but actually in the table we have one record with address is equals to null. To be accurate, the SQL standard says that the use of where clause with the null keyword is invalid syntax and shall lead to an error message or exception. But in SQL Server it doesn't, it just only returns incorrect result. Now let's see the correct way to do null comparison. As per the SQL standard, we cannot use is equals to null and not null in the comparison. We can use is null and is not null operator to test for the null value. Let's check an example. Here I have write one query which returns data from the employee table where address is equals to null. If I execute this query, it returns one row, which is correct result. As we discussed earlier, if I execute the query with address is equals to null, it doesn't returns any row. But if I execute with this query, it returns correct result. Now I will execute another query with address is not null. It returns 2 rows from the database. Now let's see another thing which is null in expression. When we do arithmetic on numeric data types and one of the operands or arguments is null, it is likely that the result will be null. Let's see same example in database. Here I am trying to do arithmetic operation with null value in one of the operand, so it always returns null value in the result. Now let's see different way to handle null value. In SQL, There are two functions available to handle null values, which is isNull and collapse function. Let's see these two in detail. IsNull function. The SQL isNull function replaces null value with a specified value. Syntax for isNull. It takes two arguments. First one is expression and another one is replacement. Expression is a type of the value for which we want to check for null, and another one replacement is for replacement of the null value. Now let's check the example. Here I have write one query with isNull function which returns 20 if the value of expression is null, else it will returns the value of expression. If I execute this query, it returns 20 result because of the value of expression is null. If I write another query, one important thing which I want to say here is that before returning a value, it implicitly converts the type of replacement to the type of expression if the type of the two arguments are different. In case the expression is not null, the isNull function returns the value of the expression. And if the value is null, then it will return the replacement value. Now we discuss collage function. The SQL collage function evaluates argument in order and returns first non-null value from defined argument list. Here is the syntax for collage function. Collage keyword takes the n number of argument with the expression. It returns only first non-null value from the list. Properties of collage function. Expressions must be of same data type. It can contain multiple expressions. The SQL collage function is syntactic shortcut for case expression. Always evaluates for the integer first, and integer followed by the character expression returns the integer as the output. Now let's see the example of collage function. Here I have write one query with collage function. It takes three arguments. First is the null argument, second one is the A, and third one is the B. Both A and B is string type. If I execute this query, it returns result A, which is first non-null value. In the second query, I have take first argument is integer and another argument is string. If I execute this query, that is also return result 1, which is integer. In the third query, I have a first non-null argument is string type and the second one is the integer type. Yes, collage function always evaluates first integer value. It can't evaluate string value as a first argument. If I execute this query, it returns with error. For conversion of vehicle value GIPL to data type integer. For run this query successfully, I need to do conversion of to type into same. If I convert this integer type to string, then I can execute this query successfully and it returns GIPL. Now let's see the use of collage function. It is used as a replacement of the case statement and to pivot data. Sometimes we want to take multiple rows of data and pivot them into the comma separated list in single commas. Here we can use collage function to make this easy. Now let's see the use of collage function in pivoting data. Here I want to pivot data of the cities into single column. For that I have created one variable and I have assigned the collage function's value in that variable. If I execute this query, it returns all the cities into single column. With this, I would like to close this session. Thank you so much for watching our video. For any IT and IT-enabled services, you can contact GIPL with some details on the screen. If you like our video, please like the video and share with your friends and family. We will meet you in our next video. Till then, stay safe, stay home.